I'm happy that we made it finally.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, so
Thank God.
today, today I'm delighted to have a very good friend, classmate of mine, is Emmanuel Junior Zakka, aka the Prof. Uh, People call him the Prof. He's a Nigerian of Southern Kaduna extraction, a graduate of agricultural engineering from prestigious Bello University in Zaria, and he's a master's program, master's review. He's doing his master's program in soil and water conservation engineering. Emmanuel Junior Zakka is a teacher. He's a writer. He's an author of two books. I haven't read any of them, but I hope to. He's a
You,
motivational speaker. He's a social commentator. And most importantly, I believe you will agree that God teacher.
yeah.
So I just want to just dive into the discussion right now to just have this conversation with my dear friend and brother. But before we go, I just want to say something like an anecdote to just launch into this very interesting conversation. So we were classmates in our childhoods with my dear friend. One thing I knew about him, he was telling me that I'm a genius. He is actually the genius. So I knew him to be very, very intelligent. So at some points, of course, we went to secondary, we went to different places, but I went to a secondary school. I was anytime it was these days that we're going to have a full quiz competition. I don't know whether they still do those things. I am very sure my friend does not remember the story, so I am still kind of shocked. So in my own school, Jesus Madagascar, I was chosen among three people to go for this school quiz competition. And we are meeting JSS and KJ, and I went there unsurprisingly. My dear friend was one of the contestants. He was one of the people JSS and KJ from and face us. And we did this in Adwan. You may not remember Adwan. I can't remember the name precisely. So when I saw my friend, because we have done prior to that, we have done this with him, and we are always taught. When I saw him, I said, "This is perfect." It is a little bit painful for me to tell you what happened that day between my school and school, but literally, my friend will not even allow his other two students from Father and Kaji to answer any question. He literally domineered the whole quiz. He did not only answer their own questions, but anytime they choose questions to us, he will jump and kind of just answer, and they will say, Ima, it's not your time. So, long story short, he literally answered every question that is, of course, to say that they won with a large margin, say the least. He did not only answer their own questions, but he answered all our questions. So that is
So,
something that is so memorable to me. I am sure you may not remember, or maybe I can say you may remember,
yeah.
but I'm very sure it's something that he has forgotten. But for me, because it actually dealt with me, it's something that is memorable. So anytime I'm telling people the story, I love to do the anecdote. I mean, in hindsight, it is funny, but just to say that this is the caliber of person that I'm having this conversation today. Emmanuel Junior Zakka, anyone that knows him, his classmates and masters will know he an intellectual, and it started from childhood. So if you know him or in adult, and you're surprised by some of the things, also I just tell you it's not an overnight thing. He has always been with him. He has always been with news, and hence the name professor, which he rightly earns. I don't know whether you want to comment about that before we proceed.
Yeah, I want to react to that very briefly. You know, He was the genius of our class, actually. He's a son of a pastor, and he himself is a pastor. And I don't remember what the story he told you, but maybe that was then when my head was really working, you know. But now, you know, so many things have happened, and they have eaten into my brain, you know. That's on a lighter note. But you see, my friend now that is telling you all this stuff about me is talking from the United States of America, and he has a PhD, and I'm just trying to tidy up my master's degree. So you can see exactly, but even by this proof that the genius, it is clear who the genius is. So I still insist that he was the genius of our class, and I
Well,
was just
we
a
can just
bench
leave it
warmer.
that way, but I don't agree with that. I don't agree with
I'm
that.
proud. I'm proud of you, brother. I'm very proud of you.
So let's just dive in to talk about your childhood and your growth. Just briefly, you a family. You lost your dad when you were younger, and
Yeah.
your mom has been a wonderful woman. Just tell me a little, tell the viewers a little bit about that, your childhood and what, and also talk about sometimes people take you to mountain, are you from mountain or Bodju, that type of thing. So if you get
All right. About my childhood, I lost my father actually when I was only 18 months, and my mother took ill for the better part of about 10 years after that. And we were in Kaduna. We were born in Kaduna, here in Hayin Banki precisely. And after my mother took ill and she was taken to Zaria, our elder brother, who is currently the paramount chief of Fad and Kamantan, her immediate elder brother, he took her to Zaria, and they tried there in the hospital, the Ahmadu Bello University Teaching Hospital there, before it was moved to its current site. And there was no progress. So she was taken back to the village, and I was the last one, and I went home with her. My house is very close to the primary school, as you know. And one day, I just ran out of the house and I went to the primary school, and I saw some students, some pupils under the tree. They were singing one times one, one times two. So I just joined them under the tree, and that was how I enrolled in the primary school. They asked me later. They took me to the principal's office and asked, who is this guy? What's your name? I said my name is Emmanuel Elizabeth, because I thought my mother. My mother being Elizabeth, in fact, if not Elizabeth, actually Emmanuel Talatu. They were just shocked. Then you could see the window to my room, my mother's room, from the principal's office. You can picture that, since you know the place very well.
Mm-hmm.
So I pointed there, and they now, oh, it's that boy that came with his mother from Kaduna. So that was how I enrolled in the primary school.
Wow.
It was a rough childhood, very, very rough childhood, but to the glory of God, we managed, and we're here where we are now. Of course, after the primary school in Fado and Kamanta, as you would know, I went to GSS Zonkwa, where I did my first, my JS1. Then the model school came up, and then we went to Fado and Kaje by way of merit. And then that was where I continued. One time in GS Government College Kagoro, but I didn't like it. I returned to Fado and Kaje and I completed my studies there.
Wow.
And of course, then ABU Zaria, where I did my first degree in agricultural engineering, even though I applied chemical engineering. And then, of course, now I am in the academia, and I am doing my best. My passion is writing and editing people's work, but my training is in engineering.
Awesome.
That's the journey. That has been the journey, and we are now.
That's great. So I am sure a lot of people that know you closely may be wondering. You have a brother that is a Heavenly Father, respected priest, and you are also a very man. We know you didn't go to the seminary, so you're not a priest. But some people may be wondering, is this guy gonna get married? He has asked for a position of one of the bachelors. So I think some people may be keen to know this. You know, I told you this is uncensored. We're gonna talk about everything. So
Yeah. You warned me actually. You didn't just tell me. You warned me. And so, now that I am live, I will react to it. Sorry, I forgot to answer that I am Baju. My father was Baju actually, but my mother is Kamantam, Angan, and I was raised in Angan land. So if I lay claim to Angan, it is because they are responsible for most of the things that I have become. Credit to them. I am Baju. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear
So
you now.
the truth is that I am Baju. Sorry, a call came in. I had to end it.
Okay.
So with respect to marriage, truly I take the issue of marriage seriously, very, very seriously. And this time, I'm not joking this time around at
Okay.
all. I am willing to make mistakes, deliberate mistakes, even careless mistakes in everything else. I'm not afraid to make mistakes in everything else, but I am deliberate about the issue of marriage. There are certain irreducible minimum that I am looking out for. I'm not a saint, I'm not perfect, but neither am I out looking for somebody who is a saint. But there are irreducible minimums that I am looking out for to find in a woman. If I don't find that, I'll continue to be single. Because you see, for me, marriage is about companionship. I'm not crazy about children. I can always adopt. It's crazy, but that is the truth about me. The truth is that I will get married. I'm 30. I'll be 39 in 7 days time, and I'll be 40 after my second birthday from this one. The next birthday of 2021, I'll be 40. So hopefully this year, my prayer on my birthday will be, God, please end this bachelorhood for me, because it is becoming an issue of concern. The other day with my archbishop, can you believe it? I could not believe that everybody has been eyeing my issue. My archbishop saw me with a lady outside the church and he said, "Is she the one we have been waiting for?" I said, "Come on, even you." I said, I'm in a deep shit. I know Father Omachi is watching us. And
Yeah.
this is a topic where he's particularly interested about. He has not been, we joke on social media about my getting married, but when we talk privately, he also is concerned. He's also is interested in my getting it right.
Yeah.
I pray to God, and I've been in and out of relationships because truly I want somebody who is teachable. I want somebody who is chasing God. Somebody who would be like a iron sharpened iron for me. See, once it is God's time for me concerning marriage, I will settle down. My fear now is I hope my friends will understand when I say there will be no reception. Because how can I feed these guys who are planning to attack me on that day?
So are you in a relationship right now?
Yeah, I I am in a relationship right now,
Okay.
and well, I cannot say exactly what I think of this relationship because it is just getting started, and I just came out of one that I was very sure was going to lead me to marriage, but God has other ideas for me, and I ended it.
Awesome.
I'm not afraid. I'm never afraid to walk away from whatever I feel, and God tells me that it is not where I should be. I don't insist when God is telling me to desist.
And I want to support that you're also not afraid of man.
You said what?
I want to suppose that you are also not afraid of marriage.
Never ever. Yes, I actually, to be frank with you, I was. I used to be very, very, very much afraid of marriage until last year, towards the ending of last year. On my birthday, to be precise, I said to myself that the first lady that I will feel very strongly about concerning marriage, that lady will be the woman. It happened. I got one. I was so sure about the one I told you about, but it didn't work. And it didn't work.
It's
So,
okay.
but
At
I
the right
have, I
time.
have, I have said to myself, I've said to
Mm.
myself that God, please let this bachelorhood end this year. I don't want to cross the 40 and
Amen.
be a bachelor beyond the 40. So as I
Amen.
enter into 40 on the 2nd of November, as I enter into the territory of 40, I want to begin to print my card. I will just leave the space for the woman. I will not put anybody there. When I just find the passport of the woman, then I'll attach. I'll put my picture there. Emmanuel, somebody dash wait, Emmanuel. Then I'll fill in the blank space. Maybe you see a very strange card. You see it written in ink, the name of the woman. That's please pray for me. Oh, pray. I want to have a family where I'll be an example to both the younger generation and even the older generation. I want to be able to raise children in this very hard time where raising children is such a difficult task. I want to be able to raise children that will be an example. The female children should see me as their father, as the kind of man that they would want to marry. And then the male children should be able to see their mother as the kind of woman that they want to marry. And in me, they should see a model, a role model.
Amen.
That's my aspiration.
The good thing about you is that you are supported by men of left
Yeah,
and center. So these people here
exactly.
will be really praying for you. So I want you to,
Omachi is number one, really.
yes.
Yeah.
So you are not going to make any mistake.
Amen. And of course, people don't know that you are a reverend, right? I will expose you too today.
Yeah. So let's talk about this whole thing that is going on in Nigeria, the insights, and
Answers, yeah.
brutality and bad governance and everything negative in Nigeria. To hear your about
Answers in Nigeria. You know, everything that is happening in Nigeria is just a reaction, it's just an explosion of the anger, the accumulated anger in the young people that has been there for long and was only waiting for an opportunity to express itself.
that.
So, as you can see, and as I also suspected when it started, it was not just about the SARS, to be frank.
Mhm.
It was not just about ending SARS, as bad as SARS has become. But SARS is only like a metaphor for the whole structure called Nigeria in terms of how everybody who is in power seeks but to abuse the privilege of serving the people. Because you see, in Nigeria, hardly is there anybody who is in the position of power, whether in church, whether in the secular society, where the person's primary concern is service on a very serious note. The primary concern of the average Nigerian, sadly, if I've not been tested, so I cannot even exempt myself. Everybody is hanging around the corner, waiting for his own opportunity to take something. Now, did you see what happened? From NSAS, we went to Operation Discover the Warehouse for Palliatives. Are you seeing it? Now, you see, you have seen videos, so many videos of prophetic uh, comments by some people, by some Nigerians, some ladies, and particularly Dino Melai, and even some of us. I remember one of my friends, Godwin Kolbe. He's from Kafanchan. He's based in Kafanchan. He's with the ministry there. He had to go and recall some of the messages that he posted, warning that the way things were going at that time, that there was a very serious likelihood that before long we'll have a revolution. We'll have a revolution. And brother, don't rule out a revolution in Nigeria. If you come to a point where the people are no longer afraid to die, that is not something that you should take sitting down. So NSAS for me is a metaphor for the kind of cancer that the Nigerian state has become, especially with respect to those who are in position of power. Now that the followers are beginning to be angry, now that the followers are doing exactly what Dino Melai saw and foretold, that they know our houses, they will find us one day. When they do not find something to eat, they will eat us. And you can see that that is happening already. So it is a great awakening. It is a great awakening. And out of the belly of these answers and all the other ancillary activities that you have seen, there will be a new baby. A new Nigeria will be birthed.
Amen.
I hope so. Nigerians cannot be
Yeah,
predicted so easily
I
anyway.
agree with you that whatever
That's my
is going
reaction.
on here it's just a metaphor that kind of encapsulates many, just an umbrella under which people are kind of passing out grievance. I'm not sure. Of course, the SARS, we can't deny the ego as itself, but I'm not sure this brutality is actually the number one problem in Nigeria. You're talking about
Not at all.
poverty, you're talking about injustices, you're talking about um, one region trying to segregate and all kinds of tribal, political, bigotry, all things that are going on in the country. So this umbrella term that people are just coming to use to protest social injustices in the country. What do you think about if we want to see this as some sort of revolution? What do you think about result?
What do I think about what?
What is this going to produce? Not what result is going to produce?
Well, you know, we are a people with very short memories. We are a people with very short memories. These things, if we are not, you can't predict anyway. You can't say whether this thing is going to be sustained because we really need to sustain the pressure on the people that we have elected. We really need to give them the rude awakening that we have woken up. We are now aware that we are their employers, and we should their employment should be on our terms, not on their terms.
Mm.
I think for me that is what I want to see the NSAS, the whole NSAS protest transmogrify into. It should transmogrify into a kind of a collective pressure group where everybody is participating in this mountain of pressure on the people that we have put in power to rule the affair, to govern the affairs of the nation on our behalf for our common good. So my hope is this. But whatever happens anyway, the political class, the ruling class now will be aware that the masses, a day is coming and it is soon, when there will be this kind of a sustained pressure on the people that we have elected to do the right thing. Because you see, the truth about Nigeria and their leaders is that they know the right thing. Our leaders know the right thing to be done. But their consolation always is that they can always divide us. Because even in the NSAS, look at it. For every NSAS protest that you saw an effort to bring a pro SAS protest as well. So what is it saying? Does it mean that if your own family member has not been affected by the brutality of the SARS, that you should just stay aloof? Is that what it means? Does it mean that because the Maiduguri is the center, epicenter of the Boko Haram crisis, that since people are being killed there and my family member is not affected, I'm in Kaduna, so it's not my problem? Is that what it is about? Now, that is the problem with this nation. So long as the political class are confident that at any time, whatever the issue is, that they can find people to support them, no matter how bad the issue is, they can find people, they can pay people 1,000 naira, 500 naira to go to the street and do a counter rally, a counter protest to support them and to show them that they have people who are supporting them. They will be comfortable. But you can see with this NSAS that there was an across it was interreligious, inter-ethnic, and in fact there was nobody who was answering Muhammad or Emmanuel. They were all together, they were answering Nigerians for the first time. You could see that they created a space for Muslims to pray, and then of course Christians were also praying for one purpose. Their problem was to end SARS. And like I told you, SARS for me is a metaphor for the Nigerian problem. So what we want to be ended is this problem of corruption and what have you that has eaten deep into the society. The energy, the result of this activity is that the energy that we have seen there is an energy that we can always tap into and make such demands, and they will be met because we are the employers, and that is what the people have discovered. So that alone is massive going forward.
Yeah. So what do you say to young people that have themselves used as top to be used politics to perpetuate evil? Like there were all kinds of talks that were hired, and all of these talks are used to destabilize the
Well, all I can tell young people who are handy cannon foders in the hands of politicians is that whatever they give you will not last you for too long. Just keep it at the back of your mind that whatever they give you will not last you for too long. Now, even look at it. We have been told that some of these people that are even perpetrating the evil, like Boko Haram and what have you, they are actually people that were used by politicians and they were abandoned.
Hmm.
So when they were abandoned with arms in their hands and they didn't know what to do with the arms again, they found for themselves what to do. Because there is no scarcity of opportunities for you to do good or evil in this country, Nigeria. There are no scarcities of opportunities for those for such openings for such. So if you have a gun in your hand, if you have a gun in your room and you don't know what to do with it, this nation is such that it is confused. The kind of hunger that will hit you will just tell you that this gun can be used for robbery, and then you pick it. And tomorrow it will tell you that this thing can be used for so 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 and so. So you see, what young people should understand that we should take this nation, we should take back this nation. It belongs to us. It belongs. What this nation becomes tomorrow is going to be determined by our own generation. So people who have eaten their own generation, the older generation, they have eaten their own generation. We should not be complicit in their effort to eat into our own generation as well. So we should be patient for some moment, even if it is 1 2 years. Let us be patient and fight these people to understand that we are ready and we are willing to take this nation to where they are not able to take the nation. So let us be patient, endure the small hardship, the little hardship that we are going to encounter within this few 1 year, 2 years, and then going, especially as we are moving towards 2023. Let us be will decide the fate of this nation starting 2023. Let us retire these old people. And look at what happened during this protest. Look at how sophisticated this generation is. See, this is the wrong generation to mess with. We are talented. We are that God has brought. God has made also to be such a privileged set of people in the sense that the world is sophisticated, and there are so many Nigerians in every sphere of this sophistication, at every point of this sophistication that are part of it, and that are going to be able to bring all these energies, all these part sophistication into making Nigeria a great nation because we have all the potentialities that we could tap from and make this nation great. So young people, especially those that are educated, please let us continue to push. Let us continue to resist the temptation to get little peanuts and get some money from these politicians that will not last us for too long. And instead, let us come together and fight for the soul of this nation because truly it is the soul of this nation that is at stake. Let us fight for the soul of this nation, eschew this money, 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 something, and go for good name. Let us make Nigeria great. I don't want to say again because I don't remember what time it was ever great as well.
Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about the palliative vandalism. one of the palliatives.
uh, you see this palliative something. I as I watch what is happening, I see the typical Nigerian spirit in it. Now, uh, on a very serious note, it is very bad that politicians, that people who have been elected into office with our money given to them to help people during the lockdown, especially during the lockdown, that they were not able to do so. But you see newspapers, so many headlines. Hey, 1 point something billion naira worth of palliatives shared to people in Jos, shared to people in Kaduna, shared to people in this, so. Well, I don't know whether indeed they are palliative, even though we see COVID-19 on some of the backs. I don't know whether that is what they are. But if indeed these things are actually palliative, then it is a shame. Every person involved in hiding these things should bury their heads in shame. It is a disgrace. Because the truth is that a hungry man is an angry man, and an
That's true.
angry man is an unreasonable man. So he will look at the people bringing down the roof of buildings and the doors just to have access to what they call their own. Look, they are not saying that they don't even agree that they are looting anything. Or if you call it looting, that is your business as far as these people are concerned. They are saying what belongs to us, we have taken. Now, but there's something I want to see. I want us to even look at. Do you
Yeah,
know that as I look at these things that are going on, this palliative, especially around the palliative, you see the nature, the typical nature of the Nigerian person. Greed is greed, even among the poor people. You find somebody falling down because of the things that he has carried. You find another person carrying nothing, but the guy is not interested in giving the other one. He's only going to keep it somewhere and then come back and get more. So you see, you begin to wonder: is it even really hunger? Is everybody here because he's hungry? There are people who are really hungry, but you see, there are people who are also there. Some of them will even sell some of these things. Can you believe it? So the problem is very big. The palliative, mm, Oga, if this is really palliative meant for the poor people, and if all those people that went there and they look really poor, some of them really look like people who want to die. If it is if they are if it is meant for them, then they have helped you to share now. Just say finish. Go and report to whoever gave you the palliative that these people have come and collected their things. I don't
wow. So let's
people
kind of
but let me add that I'm never going to support any vandalization of private property and the businesses of individuals.
yeah,
That for me is outside the point.
awesome.
Now, and the reason why I'm saying the politicians should take note is that these people know where all these things are happening. They know where you are hiding those your loot. They know. And I'm hearing report that even in some of these houses they even found money. Ah, ah, how can you be keeping money there for what now? Is it a bank? Well,
It's so
politicians,
bad.
be
So bad.
careful.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Southern Kaduna Heights of what has been in Southern Kaduna in recent years. With all the
Southern
attacks,
Kaduna.
with all the panic that has been going on. Talk to me a little bit about the complexities of the issue. What have been.
Southern Kaduna. The issue in Southern Kaduna is very, very pathetic. And it is even more so for people like us. And the Southern Kaduna is like the weeping child now. Southern Kaduna politically is almost an orphan region without any. In the past, we used to have like 2 to 3 ministers. In the past, we even had chief of staff. We had a GMD, general manager of the NNPC,
Mhm.
and one GMD can be equivalent to about 10 governors, depending on the states. We were that privileged in Southern Kaduna. Each time you take the road from television, you are going down to Southern Kaduna. If you are old enough to remember, your mind will be the name of somebody of Isaiah Ballard, who
Mhm.
was the minister for works at the time when it was constructed,
Mhm.
and then Ali also. Uh, but they are gone. They are orphaned. The person with the highest political office in Southern Kaduna now is a deputy governor, an amazing woman, really, very amiable woman. But that is about it. And that is even because it is by the arrangement. You must have somebody from Southern Kaduna to become deputy governor. Otherwise, it would have been very easy to completely make us bereft of any representation in
Mhm.
the government. We have one or two, some of our friends, Arwan, Jerry Adams, some of our friends that are in government, but not only at the state level. We have no federal presence. So we are left alone like political orphans and the weeping child, like I said. And as if that we are not enough, the Southern Kaduna story is a story, if not for recently that we have some respite with respect to the killings. It was a daily and a nightly affair. During the rainy season, it was almost every time the people should, whether they should be praying for rain for their farms or they should be praying that God should stop the rain so that the killers would not come because they usually came during the rain. That was what we saw. We lost so many people in Southern Kaduna. Zangon
Which,
Kataf, Jama'a
which
local government.
all this?
So,
Who is blamed for all this?
who is,
To be blamed for all these things?
yeah, you see, the Southern Kaduna story is very, very complicated. It would not be fair for me to outrightly say that this is the person who is to blame, this is the person who is not to blame. For me, since it is the primary responsibility of government to provide security, right?
Mhm.
Responsibility of government to provide security for its people. Therefore, it will not be out of place to say that government has failed in this responsibility.
Mhm.
Government has failed because you see, how many people have been brought, or how many of these killers have been brought to justice? Sadly, it is usually the people of Southern Kaduna, innocent people, some youth who use uh, whatever they can have within household uh, implements that they have, they hold and try to defend themselves against people who are holding sophisticated guns and weapons. And then in the end, it is these people that are usually caught and they are put to jail. And anybody that raises the alarm that these things are happening, the person becomes a victim too. There are so many cases of people who pursued this matter as they knew it, and then they were invited to come and explain. And that invitation, most of them didn't actually manage to come back home until after so many. So you see, government, for me, since it is our primary responsibility to ensure that their life and property is secure, and for killing to be going on unabated like that without people even brought to book, the perpetrators brought to book, for me, it will be safe to say that government is primarily to blame for not living up to its responsibility. But well, with this respite that we have, my hope is that government has finally woken up to its responsibility, and this is not just a temporary peace that we have found. My hope is that we have found a pathway to it. But you see, the Southern Kaduna story again is not just about this killing by the marauders. We are also beginning to see the issue of kidnapping, as in on a no, as if it is a normal one of the normal things that you do every day. You see, there are places in the southern part, in Gwamboro, in Maraban Rido, yeah, these criminals will come through the roof, sir. They come through the roof, they go into people's houses, and they harvest these people and take them away for ransom. Ah, can you believe it? In this kind of poverty that we have in this nation, And like I described to you, bereft. For me, there is very little government presence in the southern part of Kaduna. And our crime, you know what our crime is? Our crime is that we didn't vote the government in power. That is dumb. That is a very dumb. Anybody who prides himself as a sophisticated political leader or politician that doesn't understand that people must not vote you before you do the right thing for every citizen.
That's true.
For me, that person is overrated. And for not. That is the case in the state. So you see, these people who are struggling to feed, people who are living in houses that are not their own, they are taken away for ransom. And everything, sir, they have ever worked for, they are going to sell everything off. Some of them will borrow money from neighbors so that they will be able to get these people back home who have been taken into captivity by these kidnappers, who have found a very lucrative business in this kidnapping. And then when they are released, what do they?
Lord, did I just lose you? Looks like we have lost connection. Um, Imagine it's been an exciting discussion. Let me see whether I can bring him.
When they are released, what do they come back to? Nothing. So that is what we are facing. And when you are traveling on the road, you are not even safe. And sometimes these people, even when they are released, they are killed again. They have paid the ransom, then they are supposed to be released. As they release them, they shoot some of them. And some of the ransom, some of the people that have been taken and released, they say that they ask them to pay like recharge card of about 100 and something thousand naira. Are they going to eat the recharge card? Are they not going to use funds to call to call people? Then why are we registering our SIMs? If we cannot, if it is not for the sake of security, we should forget about the registration. So we are expecting that these kind of things that are happening, that government should be able to know, that the network provider should be able to track these people and get to them. You see, some people will lose their phone. They will lose their phone outside. If you are able to get the pack where you with which you bought the phone, if you are able to provide it to the security men, they will get your phone for you.
That's how
Can you imagine? They do it. I'm telling you, they do it, ma. But not when it is criminals. When it is these criminals that use the line, not even the pack of the phone, they use the line in the phone. They don't find these people. So something is really amiss.
yes.
We need to sit up.
Talk to me about Governor El Rufai. It's really his relationship with Southern Kaduna and some of the old countries uh, have been talk to me a bit about.
Could you come again?
All right, so I said talking about the relationship of the government of Southern Kaduna, especially Governor El Rufai, specifically about some of the old countries as author that we have a little bit abandoned. Talk to me a little bit about.
I think the governor is as his days as he gets closer to the exit door. He has 2.5 years to go. He is beginning to become measured in his utterances. I don't know what calculation it is, but whatever it is, I think it is better. But he has made very very careless statements in the past, very very careless statements in the past, and he's not somebody who is known to offer apologies. He believes very seriously that whatever he says, believes that he is right. He
You can
finds
check
it difficult. Yes, he finds it very difficult to apologize for some of the things that he says. But recently, on a very serious note, to be frank, he has been a bit measured, and I hope it will continue to be so. But in the past, you are far away, but you are aware we are in a global sitting room, not even a village. You would believe with me that his utterances added to the polarization in the state.
That's true.
Yes, because his utterances clearly, if as a neutral person, if you analyze his utterances, you would see clearly that it was somebody who was siding with one side against the other, which is not supposed to be so. He's like a father. He is a father of the state. He's the number one citizen, and whatever it is, he is supposed to always uh, see himself as such. There were times that he was actually flippant in some of the things that he said. He was too impulsive, and sometimes you would want a leader who, because truly leaders, when leaders apologize for something that they, when the people make an outcry and say this thing is wrong, some leaders will come back and say I apologize because of the outcry. It doesn't make them weak. It endears them to the people. But I don't think uh, our first class governor understands that very well. But now I'm seeing truly from with respect to utterances, I am seeing, he talks less now, Seth. He talks less. Uh, so I hope it will continue to be so. And I hope, my prayer is that this development that is going on will be extended to other parts of the state, every
That
part
kind,
of the state.
that
Uh,
kind of brings to what I wanted to talk about, especially on this reconstruction, the entire reconstruction agenda of the governor.
mm.
Talk to me a little bit about
You see, if you come to Kaduna now, you know you have been out of this of Kaduna for long, even though nothing will excite you since you are in the US now, a very serious state for that matter. So there is hardly a possibility that you come here and something will amaze you because you are constantly being, what is amazing is becoming a normal thing to you. But for us that are here, we have been seeing some very, very serious positive changes with respect to the Kaduna town.
it.
If you are familiar with with the road to Zaria at Kawo, that bridge has been brought down and a longer bridge is being constructed. And the speed that it is going is very, very fast and encouraging. That's beautiful. Now, if you go to town, the main town, Kaduna, you will see Yakubu Gawan Road, dualized. You will see Hamdallah, dualized. You see so many roads dualization that will make traffic, the flow of traffic to be very easy now. That is absolutely commendable. Then get out of the place, move to Sabo. When you go to that famous that road that leads to this great, this great secondary school, Christ Ambassadors, that leads you to GSS Sabo, it may take you up to 30 minutes before you arrive that GSS Sabo, because you are not going to see potholes only. If it is rainy season, you are going to cross at least two river wonderfuls. Then if you survive that crossing, then you will continue to be moving with the potholes until you manage to arrive. If you are not lucky, you have to park the car where you arrive so that the mechanic will bring it home for you. That is very sad. That's very unfortunate. And
What
for
do you
me,
think is informing this sentiment?
I think the logic is, is a bit complicated, especially for those who don't understand this. This reconstruction is coming under a name, and the name is urban renewal. Are we together?
Mhm.
And this urban renewal you are seeing, this man is a very smart guy. Oh. This urban renewal considers the places that are considered urban, and sadly, the areas that our people dominate, the area where our people have moved to because of the crisis in the northern part of the state, most of these areas are not considered as urban. They are considered as suburban.
Hmm.
Because, typically our people they are not, they don't understand this idea of living in the center of town.
Mhm.
But the outside man understands this thing wherever he goes. Even in Kafanchan, the complaint is the same. Because the places that these people occupy, they are usually the center where they call the urban. So this man, whether it is deliberate or it is just a matter of coincidence, he has chosen to begin with the urban renewal. And the massive work that is in this urban renewal does not suggest to me that the work will be able to even finish before this man exits, as wonderful as these things are. So you may discover that before it ends, we will feel shortchanged. But the truth of the matter is that that name of urban renewal is so smart that if you do not understand that Sabon Tasha, Bodingora, and some of these places where we are with the terrible roads that are almost death traps, that they are not under the urban, you will not understand what exactly is happening. So you see, it's smart. They will tell you, is it urban? Is your place urban? You say no. Then if you don't know why you say it is even urban. Then until you are told that this is actually a suburban area. Then you now say, oh. So they will now say, okay, later when we finish the urban, which is not likely to happen very soon, then we'll come to the suburban. That is another governor. Maybe it will become a campaign issue for the next person that they want to put there. Then they will say, because we have done the urban and you see it is good, because truly what is happening in Kaduna in terms of the urban is very good. But that time we are talking about killing. No matter how much development you bring to a people, if people are being killed, nobody will be interested about the development you are saying you are bringing, because the life of one human being is better than all the best roads and even the best schools that we have here. We value life, and so that's the point. So that's it. If you're asking what do I think is the responsible for this, that smart move of christening it urban renewal makes it to be so. So if you do not understand, you continue to have problem. When you go close, they will show you and say, look at this. Is this is your place you are complaining? Is it urban? You will say no. Go to Cow, go to the main places where the urban thing is happening. We are not there. So we will not. So that's
So
it.
in one sentence, I know it's difficult to ask someone to say something in one sentence. But if you are going to begin to say something in one sentence, say, what is the future of politics in one sentence?
Bright, even in one word. Bright. In one word, it's bright.
Oh, bright.
Absolutely.
Why this
Because
optimistic view?
because people like us will soon be there.
Okay.
People like us are going to take it by force, by the violence of issues, not by the violence of weaponry,
Okay.
but by the violence of superiority of issues. We'll talk about issues. We will front people who understand the matters. And then we're going to take this nation and continue to experiment and push out people until we get what is right.
Some people say the major problem in Kaduna, a lot of intelligent people, arguably, from Southern Kaduna. The major problem we have is unity. What do you think about that? We are united, we are divided, so we have different sentiments. Say something about that.
It is true. We have very educated people that are not necessarily coordinated. Very, very educated people all across. You are one of us. All across the world, we have them. But everybody is behaving like an island unto himself. we want to be leaders in our individual. You see, like in Southern Kaduna, for example, you see that we have so many groups, as in groups, where people don't like to be followers for too long. Before long, they want to create their own, something like the one that they are moving away from, so that they are the leaders there. And then they have this kind of thing, pursuing the same course, but they are just going like that, as if we are fighting ourselves. But that is not the case. I don't believe that our education is our problem. All I believe is the unity, that we need to sit down and talk to ourselves and say, even though we may not have the economic power as such, but this age and time, this is where the economic power is birthed.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can sit down together and harness, we have some of the very smart. Look at Audu Mekori.
Mm-hmm.
He's making a name for himself, and he's willing to help our people. He's making a name in the country, and he's from Southern Kaduna.
Mm-hmm.
And there are so many other very smart people like that. That the names are even, I can't even remember the names. And when it comes in every field, in law, there is Gloria Balason, who is like a nightmare to the governor. Every case she takes against him, she defeats him. You know. So we like that. And by the way, Gloria is Kamantan actually. You may even know her house. So we have so many sophisticated, even people in this government. We have some of them, very smart people. But our problem is, can we allow one leader to lead us and harness this our talent together and our intellectual property together, and then we put it into something very useful. Look at, we have ginger, for example. Look at the ginger we have. We have ginger. One young man gave me an idea of how this ginger can make us become part of the world map in terms of business. But who will sponsor his idea? Most of our politicians who have the means, and the people who have the means, they surround themselves with clowns. And these clowns don't want to involve people who have the ideas, because they feel threatened by such people. They will take these lofty ideas and they will bury them. So the problem is really understanding. But truly, what are we unifying ourselves around is another problem. So I think the first thing is to understand exactly, we should have a common vision for the Southern Kaduna nation. Then when we have a common vision for the Southern Kaduna nation, then we now begin to have unity around that stuff. And truly, it will not matter what political party you belong to, because that is the next conversation that we must have. Is it important what political party you really belong to? It should not bother anybody what political party anyone belongs to, so long as we understand, as you are living, as you are somebody from Southern Kaduna, you understand that this is our common vision, and we are whatever political party you decide to align with, the common vision you should not lose sight of the common vision. Everybody can go and belong to any party, no problem. But the reason why you are seeing this fight is because everybody is just going to find something to eat. So in Southern Kaduna, there is no problem. Somebody can even sell everybody there just to make sure that he has a place in a particular government. I'm telling you, very smart people, they sell themselves very cheap, and then that's how we are. But I am confident that one day something will hit us hard, that we will wake up, whether we are really asleep, or we are just pretending to be asleep. Something will just wake us up, and it is almost here.
I want to dive into your work, talk a little bit about your work, and also you are and so talk to me about authorship. Tell me about the book author. You're engaged by a motivational speaker. You're speaking engagement.
I want to show you the books that I have authored.
I can't see them very well. Okay. All right.
This this book is actually, you see, the Southern Kaduna dream wakes me up.
Hmm.
And the SK dream wakes me up. So interestingly, this book is actually a collection of some of my opinions and commentaries on the social media about Southern Kaduna.
Awesome.
And it will interest you to know that I didn't spend one kobo of my money in publishing this book.
Hmm.
And I will tell you how it happened. The time when the GMD, Andrew Yakubu, the great engineer, I think 2 days after he was relieved of his position. By the way, he was the longest serving GMD under Goodluck Jonathan.
Hmm.
So I think 2 years plus and a few months. That was awesome for me. It was good. It was great. Enough time for a lot to have happened. Now, I wrote an opinion about him because everybody was just insulting him. But I had a different opinion. I said, this man rose through the rank. This man merited his work, his position. It was not a campaign. He didn't campaign and say, I am campaigning for this position, and then we gave him our votes. So, and to the best of my knowledge, there were people that told me that he helped them. So I was telling people that, must you be helped directly before you concede that somebody has done something? Should we not take the testimony of people who have told us that this man has helped them, that they are doing well in the oil industry now because of this man? Should we not take their testimony as some evidence that he has tried? I think we should. We should forget this idea of unless it reaches me, it did not happen. Me, I don't like that thing. So that was the argument I made. I made it in good faith. Never met the man. I was not intending to meet the man. But interestingly, one of my good friends, who is in government now, Nemari, a very good friend, really, a sister, she saw the post and she said to me, Ima, would you mind if I show this post to the GMD? I said, post something that I have made public. You are asking for my permission to show somebody that she felt it was going to be consoling to him. I said that was not the intention. The intention was not to console him actually, but the intention was to say my mind. Yes, to say my mind. And I was not, in fact, I was not actually after being objective. In the was what was on my mind. That happened. She shot him, and when she shot him, one of my big brothers, who was close to him, then said, "Ah, this man is happy with this your post too." I told him, that he now said that since you are going to publish this book, I'm going to talk to him. He will sponsor it, and he did. 350,000 naira.
Wow.
This is the first time I'm saying it publicly, but I'm saying it to say that if you do something and you are doing it with the whole of your heart objectively, on a serious note, one day somebody will notice you.
That's
So that was how he gave. In fact, he gave me the money cash, and I went and paid this thing there. So it's a way of also saying thank you to Nemari. You see, there are people who are watching us, all of us, what we are doing, and one day you may find reward that you never expected that you will find. So the point is, somebody sponsored it because I wrote something that, in good conscience, was what I felt was the right thing to say, and I said it.
awesome.
So the second book, which actually was the first, you see it. Oh my God, Food for the Soul.
Yes.
Food for the Soul. It's about 500 pages. It was my first book, and again, it was also a collection of my work on the social media. My posts from one group, Food for the Soul, with Emmanuel Junior Zakka. The group is there on social media. And this Vincent Bodam, who was the one actually who talked to the GMD, was the one who said to me, because I see him as a mentor, when we were growing up as small kids in Haim Banki, they were the ones we saw up there as our uncles. See, because I know something, I can write something. Now we sit at table as if we were mates. But I never forget that this one are my boss.
Mm-hmm.
So he was the one who said to me, Ima, this thing you are doing every day, where do you get your energy from? If you continue to write and you don't put this thing down, it will become a problem. It will be forgotten with time. Can you collect these things and then put in a book form? And I did. And I did. So when I did that, sorry, it will be a little bit dark, and then I will come out again and it will not be dark. I want to take the third book. So that was what I did that one. And that one, it was the members of my group, led by Hawa Arwan, one of the members, who actually sponsored the publication of the book. The publisher is late now. God rest his soul. And then for the third book, which is, you will see the picture of my elder brother, father.
Yes.
You will see miraculous healing of an unworthy servant. So, as you are aware, he suffered a stroke in 2016, on 28th of January 2016. And I have been with him since then. I am like his caregiver. So the reason, what informed writing this book was that I got tired of telling people the story of what happened. If this group comes, say, what happened? I will tell them, oh, another group. I say, Kai, this is what I will do. Since I am a writer, let me write this thing. And all these three books, I never use laptop to type anything. I use my phone. In fact, that time it was one phony BlackBerry, and I kept that BlackBerry. I refused to give it out until it collapsed completely. I'm keeping it as a monument because that was the same thing that I used to get all these things together. So that is it for the book. And I have a third and a fourth one. See, you are making me to expose this one. The fourth one that I have is actually my thinking about on marriage. And I call it the marriage souvenir. My intention is that somebody will sponsor that book and I will use it as souvenir on the day of my wedding.
Awesome.
It will be called, yes, marriage souvenir. I will do something unusual, not this later and so I will give you book. In fact, if the spirit ministers to me, I will do launching that day so that few people will not come. So that many people will not come. So that I will not be terrorized that day. Because the way people are targeting I don't know whether I will just say, please permit my brother to stand on my behalf and be at the reception. Let me go home and rest. So, and I have a fifth one too. The fifth one is Clause of Destiny. It was something I shared on Facebook when I was doing my registration for my master's. Each time I was on the bus going to Zaria, I would say, why would I be sitting in a bus like this up to Zaria? I'm not doing anything, just chatting. I said, let me begin to write a creative story. And for 15 days, I did 15 episodes of one story about a relationship that I was also a character in that relationship, and some ladies like that actually are fictional, even though there is one name that I used there that was it was a lady I was seeing that time. It didn't work, and so I want to use it to like a little novella. Hopefully, if it works on that wedding, also I am going to add it to the other one and give us.
Now you are raising you are raising curiosity about the debate.
No, but on a serious note, I will do that. I will do my best. Omachi is watching me. You are watching me, and some of the friends, my good friends, are also watching. I'm sure they will be of great support in making this dream come true.
Amen.
Amen.
Where do you teach?
Uh, I am on study leave now.
Oh, are you?
Yes. I have only my final defense to complete my masters. I was about to do it when this COVID-19 came and COVID the whole thing. COVID the main thing. There will be a lot of new words now to come out. I wish I was a priest of usage in the English language. Then I would just say the whole thing COVID my activity. That means COVID interrupted the whole thing. So when you say something COVID, you're wow.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
What about speaking in business? I know you have a lot of social engagement and those powerful platform you are not speaking.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
So I was talking about your motivational speaking. What you use?
God. Why is this thing like this?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
So I was talking about your speaking engagements. You have it, Mr. For aside from social media.
Okay, my speaking engagement.
Mhm.
Yeah. When my interestingly when Father Omachi was here, he was one person who created so many opportunities for me to speak to young people, to speak to his congregation 2 times. The whole church congregation, he gave me opportunity to speak to them. I am completely a fan of his. I respect him very, very highly, and he's my good friend. And the reason that I will never forget him is that even when I do not perform in my own thinking, I did not perform very well. Father Amati always believed that I was doing very well. So he lifted my spirit. He has given me hope. He has given me encouragement. I do a lot of speaking engagements now. There's something that my elder brother, Father Zakka, told me so many years ago. He told me that any have passion for, do it for the joy of doing it. The money will come.
That's true.
So why am I saying this? I'm saying this because now I'm not interested in what they give me. Sometimes I take myself to where they invite me for a speaking engagement, and I live there without a kobo. I have never bothered about it, even though I feel it is not something that people should do. Even by way of appreciation, you should say something.
Mhm.
But I feel that is not where the matter is. And for me, at this point, crowd is not even what motivates me to talk. Any crowd, any number of people that I meet where I go to speak, I do it as though I was talking to a full house. So for now, I'm doing it. I do a lot. The minimum, if not for this COVID-19 stuff, a minimum of 20, 25 different speaking engagements in a year is what I do.
Wow.
University students, church, churches, and one of the places that I usually go to have this engagement is the Equa Church.
Wow.
Interesting, right?
Mhm.
The other day, I was my friend who was my senior in secondary school invited me, Ephraim, Reverend Ephraim. He invited me to where he's assistant associate pastor, and he didn't actually tell them my denomination before. It was after when they were excited. He said, "Do you know the denomination?" They said, "No." He said, "This guy is a Catholic." Some of you have already blocked your head and you say Catholics are not capable. That is a wrong notion, right? They say, yes, yes. I say, you see, that's what we need to encourage. We're one body in Christ, and we should continue to be so. So I enjoy doing it now. But with Equa, it's a formalized stuff. When you go, you must carry some meaningful envelope and come back. I wouldn't tell them what they have been giving me so that they will not attack me. Oh.
Yeah, that kind of need to. We are trying to wrap it up now. Talking about, I know you are a person of you play your faith. Um, Talk to me a little bit about the place of personal development.
Why are we getting this now that we are almost rounding up? I did
hear
not.
me?
Yes.
Yeah, so I was talking about it and I asked the question, say something about the place of the in person growth.
Did you talk about faith? Something like that?
Yes, so I can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I hear you. And when as you go on, then the thing begins to.
I don't know what's going on. So the
Maybe
question was, what is the place of
the place of faith in what I do.
yeah, in personal growth?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Where would I be? What would I have become without this staying power called faith? Nowhere. You know what you are. You know what you triggered with this question. You
Hmm.
triggered. You just forced a very quick replay of my life in my head,
Hmm.
and I saw uh, en- encounter after encounter where my faith that instill hope in me, and the fighting spirit, and the trust in the God who makes all things possible were all I had, and that saw me through.
Hmm.
I do not know whether we will be talking here if not for the faith that has built the man that you see here. A wretch like me, that the confidence that no matter where I am coming from, no matter how terrible my background, with Christ as the pillar of my support and the pillar of my life, that there is nothing that I cannot be if I trust in Him. And whatever I desire to be that I am not, that it is because He has something better and greater for me. That whatever that I have become, it is because of Him and not because of me. That with faith in Him, that there is that I am the limit to what I can become. Not even the sky. If I can dream it, I can have it. So faith is my life.
Hmm.
Faith is my life everywhere. And I am not ashamed to say it. I thank God that He found me. And I thank Him that He gave me the grace to find Him too.
Hmm.
So my
Yeah,
faith is my life, brother.
that's so
Mm.
profound. Because today the time people are saying should be ready, but it's good to hear a young person that is so intelligent, that is interesting, and at the same time holding on to faith. So that is very important to know. Well, it's been a very quite interesting opportunity to have an interview with my brother Emmanuel Junior Zakka. Despite the technical issues that we encountered at first, but at the end of the day, we were able to overcome the odds and have this educative, informative, enlightening, and educative, you know, interaction. So thank you so much for availing your time to be able to do this. I want to specifically thank Father Martin for the he stayed with us. He even brought a comment when he started. He said, I am all ears.
Network.
It's surely be a robust engagement. Trust enough for an effective evaluation is a movement. But automatic not a movement. Uh, he, he is a coach.
Kaji
Uh,
Shiva, you see what I told you?
he
This
has
man
shown
is
exceptional mastery is similar to board.
This
If we
man,
want to
if I
unpack
were to
this,
believe every single thing this man said about me, I would be flying. I would be floating.
if we are going to unpack all these things that Father Almighty
And
so
by the way,
about, I
Kasoin
think that would be another
is in New
session.
York. Oh, what are you
But
connect?
thank you so much, Father Almighty, for that statement. I know you and I don't deny any of these things said about you. So thank you so much for availing the time. For viewers out there, share this video in case you have been my age, this kind of I know 1 hour meeting does not do justice to all these, but at least you have a better understanding. And appreciate having this conversation is just brainstorm, just talk about, have conversations that literally you can have one on one. I would have just put a call on Emmanuel to talk about this exact things that we have talked about today. But it's good for us to start sharing our stories. It's good for us to lend our voices to the things that are happening in society and to all the things that are happening in our personal lives so that people can learn from that again. So this is something I do every Saturday and Sunday, bring interesting guests and intellectual, somebody that is doing interesting. And we have this topic. I encourage you to share this video with your friends and also look forward to other conversations in the interview in the second episode. We'll continue to master all the technical issues as we go on. Once again, thank you so much, Emmanuel Junior Zakka. Do you have any final word?
Yeah, of course, I will have my closing remarks.
Yeah.
Number one, I want to let you know that you have in Omachi a potential guest, so you can hook him.
I will definitely want to have a conversation with him.
Exactly. Interestingly, you guys are both of you are in the US. He's in New York, so you can arrange a visit. Yeah, his
we are
he
just
pastors it.
1 hour away.
Beautiful, beautiful. So you can link up there, and
Awesome.
yes, you will find in him a very wonderful friend. I just pray that you are not going to hijack him from me. It will be a very major loss for me. Okay, well, that was on the lighter note.
Yeah.
So viewers, this is awesome. I spoke from my mind. I spoke exactly. There was no hint as to what it was going to be like. You had the question the first time, just the way I heard the questions. So I spoke my mind as it has always been in my mind. What I said is exactly what I felt at the time and what I feel. And I asked you to continue to support the effort by our brother, PhD. You know, humility, you know. So I want you people to continue to follow his page, and he's doing a marvelous work. And we're going to have people. Stephen Kefas will be coming very soon. Also another giant in the Southern Kaduna struggle. And of course, you have other people who will who will keep you in Southern Kaduna even while you are in the United States of America, because because you hear the stories, you hear these are people who are in the trenches. They are pursuing the issues. They are risking their lives for the cause of the Southern Kaduna people. You know, and of course for the cause of all those who are oppressed, not just people in Southern Kaduna, all people of all faiths who are facing oppression, who deserve justice and they are not getting it. So I thank you for the opportunity that you have given me to speak, and I hope that viewers we are richly blessed by this 1 hour 31 minutes, even 33 minutes of the time that we share. And thank you for your patience. Thank you for not giving up, because if you had given up, we wouldn't have had this opportunity, because everything was pointing towards giving up. But God, if you superior, that genius of yours came to the fore again, and then you devised a means. I don't know how you did it, but we'll discuss it after off camera. So thank you very much, and God bless you. Please, you people should get ready for my wedding. Is going to be virtual wedding, so you people don't need to come. It will be the first virtual wedding. You people don't need to come. Thank you for the intention to come to my wedding. God bless all of you for coming in spirit. And for you, you must come. Oh, okay, because the Kedo Mati, you people must take the same flight and come here. I'm very, very grateful. Thank you very much. And I hope
Right.
that
Thank you so
yaranka ba
much.
za ka zo ka ji abin kunya ba zai zo ya samu between me and your children ba. Kad dai one of your daughters is already at the age of marriage, sai ta je ta je ai Ima Zakka ne ta classmate dina. I pray God will not allow me to have that though in Jesus' name. Oh. All right, brother. Thank you so much. Now good day.
It was a time well spent. Thank you so much for your
I
time,
hope so.
for all the things you shared. Very insightful, very informative, and informative. Pray the Lord continue to bless you also. Bye
Amen.
for now, viewers. Thank you so much until I come again with another guest on Saturdays. Take care of yourselves and enjoy the week. Bye bye.
Bye bye now.